So you like some resistance then? You like a good fight?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me today. Really appreciate this. For Wine Guardian, we're calling this the Stewardship series, and this is I'm going to do a series of interviews about people who I feel are changing the look and the feel of the wine industry. And you were one of the first people who came into my inbox, so I thought it would be awesome if I could talk to you in an interview about Marble wines.
Thank you for having me.
I have some background on where you came from. For example, I know you were born in Germany.
So 2 stints in Germany. I was born there. When we moved back from Germany, I was always in Georgia.
Was wine a part of your world at all?
I think probably my first wine experience would have came around my junior year.
Yeah.
And I started with drinking like a Lambrusco.
Really? So you didn't start with like the Boone's Farm and like that?
No.
No? Lambrusco is pretty sophisticated. So you eventually became a lawyer, right?
I remember sitting down at our kitchen table and I was going through this book of careers and I saw corporate attorney. And I said, that sounds like what I want to do. And I am 44 years old today, and that is my life.
I imagine in that line of work, once you get into the legal world, you know, there's all the trappings of business and client relationships and building relationships, wining and dining people, networking. Is that kind of how you kind of came to wine?
Actually, I had a project several years ago where I had a client who wanted to start his own wine label. Won't get into names, but reality television personality. I just helped him get it set up, and it was kind of like at the end of that process, I had learned so much. I had made so many connections. It seemed like a natural progression. As an attorney, and my 9 to 5 is really in the transportation and logistics space. So that's another very male-dominated industry. Those are spaces where you don't normally find people who look like me. But for some reason, I've been able to navigate in those spaces.
Was there a moment where you're like, I can do this? Or was it more about you wanted to create something? You wanted to make a wine?
I actually wanted to partner with the client on it.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, he wasn't a wine drinker. I started after him, obviously, and I've surpassed him. And I think that's the testament of what inclusion can look like when you say, oh, this doesn't have to be male dominated. This doesn't have to be white. This doesn't have to be the majority, right? When you say we should allow other people to kind of sit at the table. It just opens up the door to so many people. My business partner is actually a white woman. I love the idea from the onset of having 2 people who look so different. I'm the attorney. She's this pop star artist. I thought it was important to show 2 people that were different coming together in this space,
Right.
And working together to bring a product to market.
I'm a 54-year-old white man, and I remember when I first started studying how patriarchal it felt to me. It's an industry that's notorious for not really letting strangers in, you know, or outsiders in. I can only imagine what it must be like for a woman and a woman of color.
When I look at this industry and I look at the fact that you don't see people who look like me in that space, I have a responsibility to be here and kind of open those doors for others and maybe inspire and empower others to get into this space.
So you like some resistance then? You like a good fight? Yeah. So when you started out, what was your vision?
We did focus groups with women. Women of different ages, women of different ethnicities and races. And what we found in those discussions with those women is that they wanted to see the representation.
So you knew out of the gate who your audience was.
I looked for the challenge, right? If I would have just went with what everybody drink, that was fine. But I listened and I heard an opportunity to challenge myself. And so my goal was to create a palatable and approachable red that people could enjoy.
So with an added 3 years of experience now,
has it gotten any easier for women of color, to move through this space?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's still some challenges. So, for example, I had significant challenges with getting distribution. I got my own distribution license here in Georgia to self-distribute.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
I work for a logistics company, so we can move the product. I think that I've been fortunate because of, kind of where I'm situated. I know that it's not that easy for everyone who's trying to get into this space.
Right.
And I certainly hope that with this new distribution company that we can assist other small and minority brands.
this is something that's common in the wine industry right now. They're talking about how younger consumers are not drinking as much wine anymore.
I don't know if I believe the numbers.
I don't know if I do either.
Change is really important. And this isn't your daddy's wine industry anymore.
It's changing.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem. I think there's this resistance between the old school and the new school. This is the fight that we're having right now. It's really less about
young people not wanting to drink the wine or not wanting to come to it. It's more about they don't want your daddy's wine. They want their wine.
Young people, they want to connect personally with the
Yes.
brand.
so much
too,
more.
right? And so they love being able to take a picture with you. They love being able to give you that, feedback on your product. I think that's how we really have been able to build our own community around it. It's just by having that personal touch point with the young people.
So if it's okay, I'm going to taste the wine, and can we talk a little bit about the wine?
I would love for you to taste it and get feedback.
Awesome. I know that you started Marble Wines primarily to celebrate women of color, and you're using art, like the artwork on the bottle, and the aesthetics of beauty as well, too.
With the artwork on the bottle, right, you have this beautiful woman. She doesn't necessarily have a racial identity. Kind of hold the bottle just right in front of you. You get to see part of yourself. So when we got that feedback from women that said they wanted representation, again, I'm thinking, okay, that's a challenge. How do I get everybody represented on the bottle? And that was the concept that we ended up coming up with to try to get that full spectrum of representation.
It's a pretty funky blend. Like, how did you get these grapes together? Why?
That is the winemaker.
This is Chris.
Yeah, Chris Christensen. He's got his own, wine label. And what I was told is that he makes magic in a bottle. I told him what I wanted the experience to be for the consumer, and he nailed it.
It's a really interesting blend. So this is Petite Sirah, Chardonnay, which is really interesting. You don't usually see white wines being put into red wines, so this is very non-traditional. Barbera, which is an Italian grape, and Zinfandel and these are all sourced from California, right?
Yep.
This is kind of old school. It's interesting because it's like a new world take on an old world tradition.
In the beginning, we were actually shy to tell people that it had Chardonnay in it.
Mm-hmm.
But after, a lot of conversation around it, like we like our product. We think we have a good product, and there's no reason for us to be shy. We're going to take challenges, and we're going to try to come up with something different every single time. My next varietal, I actually would like to try to use Georgia grapes.
That would be really cool.
What drives me with this brand is the challenge, right? When I talk to people and they say, "Ooh, can you really get a good wine with a Georgia grape?" Can I change people's perception about what they think they like?
It's a very disruptive sort of attitude, which is great. I love it.
I tell people all the time, I do what I want to do.
This is a great wine, and not conventional, but who cares? I mean,
Yeah.
really, Honestly, who cares if it works?
I just want it to be right.
When somebody opens this up, when they're drinking it, what kind of experience do you want them to have with this wine?
As a woman who works in business and works in male-dominated spaces, one of the things that I talk about a lot of time is that when I get up in the morning and I go out, I got to put on armor. I gotta put on some armor to go out in the world and do what I do. When I come home, I have to be able to take that off. And I think the accompaniment to that is the glass of wine.
For you, as somebody who's redefining what a winemaker looks like in 2026, what do you want Marble Wines, Latoya, Brianna, Chris, what do you want to be known for?
I experienced the barriers to entry, and I have the tenacity, but I also have had a significant level of support in terms of people, in terms of resources to kind of get to this place. And if there's a way that I can help other brands have that same experience in the marketplace, again, it goes back to what I said, I think I have a responsibility to do it. It's not just the winemaker, it's not just the artist, it's not just us as the brand owner, it's not just us as the face of the organization. Like, this is the founding family of this brand. And we highlight everybody who plays a part in putting this product on shelves.
No person makes it on their own.
I tell people that all the time, like, it takes a team. The success that I've experienced to this point is attributed to a lot of different individuals, but this really is the result of the work of a lot of great women. What I really focus on with people is, before you see my gender, before you see my race, I want you to see my humanity.
I want to add to that thought while we're talking about this is, I'm in hospitality. My wife is an acupuncturist, so she treats a lot of people with pain. I think even with all this technology, I think there's always going to be a place for the human touch.
As long as we keep that human touch and that human element to it, that's always the most important.
I want to thank you so much. This has been wonderful. Telling your story, learning about the wine, drinking the wine. It's super enjoyable. I love it. My wife and I are going to enjoy it after this.
Really appreciate it.
No, again, thank you. Thanks for having me, and thanks for sharing our story.
Thank you, Latoya Jordan.